So he brings me this, okay? Now, your mind is probably going where mine went. You want me to preach to the teens that aren't even going to be in the room. And he said, no. He said, this was my chain. And I thought about that because I'm meeting with another couple where the husband said, you know what? One of the issues between my wife and I is the amount of time, come on, I spend on this. But when I talked to the husband, he's like, my day was so stressful. I just need to come home and turn everything off. Isn't he saying I need to find some freedom? And so he'll come home and he'll pick this up and he'll play for I don't know how many hours. And again, I'm not trying to make anybody sound bad or look bad. I'm just trying to be real with you because I think the Bible's real for real people. And so he tries to find freedom. But in an effort to try to find freedom in this, without even realizing it, and both these men, as I've talked to, have told me the same thing. It didn't bring freedom, it actually brought more chains. Well, maybe you don't have a problem with this. Maybe yours is more like this. And no, we're not being funded by promoting. But I know people who will say to me, Pastor Mike, you have no idea how stressful my life is. I mean, from the time I get up in the morning to the time I go to bed, it's just one thing piled on after another. And so I need some help to relax. If just for a moment. And yet so many of them will come to me and say, I'm not free anymore. I've actually traded one chain for another. Now, not to break the mood in here, but I just got to tell you, when I went to pick this up Thursday at the liquor store, the manager happens to know what I do for a living. And I've known her for a long, I shouldn't say that. Why have you known her for so long? You got to be careful public speaking, you know that? I don't know what possessed Carol to do this, but there was a gentleman buying a bunch of stuff apparently for there's some kind of celebration going on this weekend. Anyway, I'm there to pay for this, and she turns to him and she says, he's a pastor. I mean, no warning, just boom, there it is. To which this guy goes, this is true. Okay, can't make this stuff up. He looks at me and goes, you're a pastor? And the next thing I expected out of his mouth was, what church do you go to? He didn't go that far. I guess he's not wanting to be that free yet. I don't know. But I've also had people who maybe didn't want to find their freedom in this. Needless to say, you don't have to have a chain that looks like anybody else's. Amen? I think if we're honest with ourselves in here this morning, we all have some type of chain. We're blessed to have a number of young families in our church, and often what I hear from some of fathers as well as moms is, but mostly moms, Pastor Mike, I get so tired of taking care of other people. From getting them up and getting them dressed, changing their diapers, packing their lunches, sending them off to school or to work, right? I mean, I spend my entire life taking care of other people. I I just need a moment where I can take care of myself. Right? Maybe buy a dress or two or 12, new pair of shoes or 36. See, I'm married to a lady. Maybe not after this morning. You do understand, my intent this morning is not to criticize anyone, but just simply to acknowledge whatever flavor it is, whatever it looks like, we all find ourselves dealing with this of some sort. And the truth of the gospel of Jesus Christ, the truth about Easter, is that it makes absolutely no difference to God what this looks like in your life. The reason that Jesus went to the cross and the reason that the Father rose him from the grave was to give us, each of us, an opportunity to be released from these again. So why aren't we? Why aren't we? I'm going to stop some of you from drooling. Do they take liquor back at the store? No.